Good afternoon, Judy Allen here. We had really made it to noontime, didn't we, today? All right, that's okay. It's Wednesday. Tomorrow's a holiday for most people because it's July 4th, and then we just have one day and then we're to the weekend. So exciting, right? So today we got some patriotic things I've made, and I've made them so they could be ornaments as well as just decor, right? So first we're going to do the country birdhouse that I did in the red, white, and blue that several of you asked me about for the tutorial. And yes, you can get it free. It's going to be in the Class to Go kit from July 1st through the 16th. Or if you, and or you can sign up for the summer retreat, and it's going to be with that as well too. So with that, let's go down the hands. I'm going to show you how we're going to do this because it's fun and easy, and it's just timing is good. We're going to get this one extra light that's here called some bright lights. And if we have streaming issues, I'll have to get people to turn off some technology around here. All right, so we are making the birdhouse here. All right. I've already made this here, and this will be part of the tutorials. I made an airplane, and I made it where it can fly 3D. So you'll have to tell me if you like the airplane better like this or as an ornament on top of the clouds and all. We made this actually in our June Adventure Club this month, but I think it could go either way, right? I like it just as much here, but you have to let me know what you like the best, if you like it better on the clouds and so forth and all. So that is one of the ones that'll be in the kit, and then we'll also have something for next week as well. This is, right, look how we made this. So when I made this originally today, I was thinking I was going to put it on this birdhouse, and I remember I had to make it smaller, because this is how big the biggest one is, right? So as big as the birdhouse. So this would be really cute to do something else with it, but this is very easy to make, all right? So I'm going to set this aside. I just want to show this to you. All right, so as we go to make this here, the foundation of actually, right, our pleated flag here is going to be this here, all right? I'm going to show you how to make the house, but I want to show you how this was made first. This is actually 3/8 of an inch of red, white, and blue paper. And I actually glued them over where they just went over each other just a little bit, right? About 1/8 of an inch. So I ended up with this here. So this is all prepped for you, right? When you get the kit, it's all prepped for you. And then I just turn around. This is in the Round as We Go dies. And I just laid it. I wanted it to be sure at the blue that we had the little scalp, right? Little scallops there at the end. And I just did it. So you can see that's shorter than this. Right, because our birdhouse is small, so it needed to be shorter. So it's about half the size. All right, so I just lined it up on my paper when I die cut it, and that's what makes that easy. And you just got to make sure the glue's really dry before you run it through the die. Okay, but it just reinforces it when it does all those seams. All right, so here's what we got going. Get all these pieces. So a couple of things I've done in advance. All those little stars there. I don't lose all those little stars. All right, so I went ahead in advance. This is going to be the roof, and I'll tell you this is 2 1/4 by 4 inches, and this is scored at 1/4 of an inch on these two sides and at 2 inches in the middle here, so we'll be able to bend it like this. Okay, this is going to be the roof. So what you want to do this when you do this here is you want to clip it right here on the score line. This is why I always tell you to fold things on the score line first. Is we do it like this, and this is going to be our roof. Now, I went ahead in advance and I punched a hole through here because I haven't decided if I'm going to pull my ribbon through yet to make an ornament. So see how I made an ornament here? And you don't have to, right? We could just make it as a decoration, put it on somebody's top of his desk and take this off, just like we did right here, right? Or we could do it like that. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I'll either have to have a real slender crochet hook, or I think I'm going to use my embroidery needle, and I'm just going to feed it through that way. I could maybe try to do it the otherwise, but I think it'll be easier that way for me today anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and do this here. I wanted to show you how to do this. So we're going to actually just sort of fold these here. And because we've cut the line just a smidgen on the edge there, so when you go and fold this over, it's going to go just like this, okay, to form our roof. I go ahead and get you to fold on the score lines. Some people like to go ahead and burnish them too. That's fine. I just fold it with my fingers. All right. Okay. So let me set these both aside here. And let me get some of my little stars I see here too. So you're just die cutting the stuff that you want in the different colors, right? So I just on this one, they got 3 dies for this that I could have done in color in between. I'm just going to leave a space. So let me go ahead and get this folded too, and we'll show you how to do the bottom of this in a minute too, while I'm busy folding things. All right, so this is the back of the birdhouse, and I've already decorated the back of it, and then we're just going to decorate the front. All right, so in the front here, I went ahead and put the red on. So in the dies, you can put a 3rd layer in here. And I chose not to because I got my birdhouse white already, so I didn't see the need to go and put a white, cut the 3rd piece out that was going to be white, right? When I can just improvise and do it differently than that. So we're just going to go right here. There we go. So we're going to put this right here. Now we're going to do a little modification. We're not going to cut anything different, but I'm going to show you how I did the second one, all right? Because this is just easy. I mean, I really got into making the birdhouses because you saw me do my Mickey Mouse. And hello, Debbie. Hello, Sue. Yes, because you know what? I can envision making Christmas, right? Christmas. I can imagine doing a pumpkin. I can imagine doing a Halloween birdhouse. So any birdhouse I make like this, I can make into a card, right? If you haven't seen it previously, you can go back and look at some of my videos. I showed you where I made birdhouses and as a card, I turned around and made it into a birdhouse, and I've taken a birdhouse and turned around and make it into a card. So this actually right here, it's got where you can line that up perfectly. If you look at that edge there. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm just going to move it over just a smidgen like this. And I'm just going to leave the white there, okay? And that saves me from cutting out the 3rd DSP that I needed, okay? You're not going to worry about that there because I can always cut that off. So there I've got my red, white, and blue look going there. All right, now just at the bottom part here then, I just cut it out in the Night of Navy. We're going to put it on there, and then we can put our stars. And that way we can all be drying while I start doing the assembly on the other stuff. Okay, so now you see the front of the birdhouse, and here's the back that I've already done. Okay, so in the front I made sure to cut a hole because it's in your die set. You can cut the hole right there, and I didn't do it on the back side, right? So we can see the difference. Now there is a beautiful red cardinal that's going to be coming out in the fall that I thought would look real pretty with this. You could only get it. I'll show you. You can only get this if you were a demonstrator and you signed up. So I'm thinking either of these would be really, really pretty in there. For me, they're going to be cardinals. So just give you a tidbit of what's coming in the fall in September. All right. So now we're going to sit there and just put, I'm going to go ahead and put these little stars down here. Like I said, some glue. So I just start in the center first. And I just put a little glue dot. And then we're just going to space out our stars from there. Now these stars are not actually designed as stars. These are actually in, so if you're going to look, I looked all over the place today to see where I got the stars from. And I didn't get them from stars. These are actually in the, let me think, Simply Xenia die set. And actually they're used as in the center of the flower. How cool is that, right? So I'm using them as stars because they suit my purpose and they're the right size. And that's the key to this. You want the right size, right? So that's how I did it. So yep, I'm just going to put a glue dot here. Just not a glue dot, but just a dot of glue is what I really should say. Since we do have glue dots. We need glue. You need glue because this is a 3D project, right? So it doesn't matter if you decided as a standalone birdhouse or if you're going to make an ornament out of it, you still need to use 3D because this is glue. So I wouldn't use, so somebody said, can you use Sharon tape? Well, you can, but the glue works best. We sort of discussed this yesterday as we were putting airplanes together. If you're going to make a 3D project in this particular case and you're going to hang it anywhere, I have an aunt or aunts, relatives, that actually have Christmas trees all year long, and they change based on the season, right? So that's something if you want to do that, that's fine. I don't do that because I don't have the time or energy. So, but people do that, right? And that's cool. And like that, I bought somebody recently a patriotic Christmas ornament, believe it or not, at SeaWorld, right? Out of all places. And I already shipped it out because I didn't want to have to hold on to it to Christmas, right? So some of these times we make these things and it's like, what are you going to do with it in the meantime? Like, I might just go ahead and send it off, right? Or I'll wait. But all you're going to do is just put your dots on here. We can get our stars on there. And then we're going to assemble it, and I'm going to go ahead and get this. I don't know if I can do the pleated there or not. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to want to do that basically. If I want to do it here or wait. I'll get part of it going anyway. Because you really need to sort of work with it a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. We're just going to get these stars on here. And so I just try to eyeball it. I don't get anything out to measure. If you're somebody that has to measure, go for it. I'm not. I just don't have the inclination at all. So I'm just going to put my little stars on here. I could have used my other tool, but since I'm using glue, I didn't. But they're tiny enough that you could use the pick tool. I need a couple more stars. I did plenty of stars because I wasn't sure between my airplane and this if I had enough stars. But you just do it, right? So I love birdhouses. If you don't know it, if you saw my house outside and on the porches during the holidays and all, I have birdhouses. I even have a birdhouse yard flag that I hang up too. So I like birdhouses because I can do all the different things. Plus, I have birds that come and make nests in them. All right, so there's our house right there without doing anything else, okay? So when you go to do this and you want to pleat this is tiny, all right? So we're going to go ahead, I just pick one end, right? Because the bottom line is you're going to glue this down, all right? We're going to glue one down over here. You can do it either way. I did this one. You can see when I did this one, I did one under here, and then I did this one over like here. So it's going to depend on how you fold this and how you start this. So you're going to go and just keep on. And the easiest way to do this is we're just going to position our ends down here. Okay? So if you've ever done anything like this before, whether it's you did it through sewing or anything else, right? You know that pleating and the way you do it. And actually, I'm not going to even try to hold on to that because the bottom line is we just need to get the folding done right now. Okay? And the reason for that is because in the end, you're going to squish this all together and glue it, and that's what's going to make it happen. All right? So I'm just getting you want your back and forth, back and forth. This, I would say, now granted, it did this on its own, so it wasn't me, right? This is because I die cut it. I would say this is about 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, it's a little less than 1/4 of an inch, so it might be more like an 1/8. So it's really, it's much right in between, if I had to guess. But it doesn't matter because you're using the die to do this, right? But keep in mind, I sized this down because originally it would have been this size here. So like I showed you, I sized it down and cut it so it was smaller to go in this birdhouse. You know, it's one of those things when I want something, I want it, and I just make sure it happens, right? So what you're going to want to do here is decide where you want your bunting, your pleated bunting to go, right? So I did mine right there. If you want to do it tighter, you can. So what you would do is go ahead, and we're going to glue part of this down now. Oh yeah, Christmas house. I mean, I'm already visualizing a Christmas house. I actually have a birdhouse that I do at Christmas time that I put on my front porch. And it's already decorated for Christmas. So I'm going to first put that down and let that dry. And then we'll go and put the other side down. And the reason why you want to make sure this is down and dry first. See how this looks like it's spring-loaded? That's because it is spring-loaded. With all that folding, it wants to venture out like an accordion, right? So you want to let it glue down first. I'm going to do the other glue, and then we'll get the rest of it down. All right? Meanwhile, we're going to start on this here. So here is the bottom of the box here, and this is, oh, let's see here, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. That can be possibly right because it's not a square. Let me measure that again. That is 2, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, I'm sorry, 3.5 by 2 1/4. That makes more sense, 2 3/4. Yeah, okay. I can write those down later for you as well too. Okay, so we're going to make the box now, all right? This is going to be the bird feeder on the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, just like we do a bigger box, right? This is just like a big box, except it's just smaller, right? And so we're just going to notch our edges right here so it'll come nice and smooth when we put all these tabs in. So, you know, I've already envisioned that if you didn't want the bird feeder, you could just put sides in there, close it all the way in if you wanted to. Or you could make it smaller, right? But I like the size of the actual bird feeder because of the fact that, right, you're just getting a lot of dimension there. You're just getting a cool look. And I'm thinking, man, you could put anything you want in these little bird feeders. You could put a treat for somebody. If you had, gift card is a little big. Gift card is too big. You'd have to extend the bottom if you wanted to put a gift card down there. But, you know, if you had a small gift, like you were giving somebody a ring or something, you could put it in here with it gift wrapped. Or just let it be stand alone on its own, right? You got choices. It's all about choices. Alright, I'm going to do this right here. I think that'd be pretty cool if you're surprising somebody with a ring. Sit there, put the ring in there, and just wrap it and let them try to figure out what it is. Okay. Alright, so now we're just going to assemble our box. It's no different than we assemble a box any other time. It's just smaller, right? And then we're going to sit there and we're going to attach it to one side of the birdhouse at a time. Just makes life easier. Always makes life easier, right? I don't know about you, Sue, but we're having you're coming in March to Texas was ideal because, man, we are in triple-digit figures with the heat index, and we've been that way, and our air quality has been lacking. So, hoping you're having some nice, cool weather, and you too, Debbie. And we need rain, so if you guys have rain, send it our way because we definitely need rain. Alright, so we can go ahead and get this done like this here. And you're just going to have to give a moment, alright? We have to be patient with this to let the glue dry, alright? We're not trying to rush anything with this. Main thing we do is we want to make sure that when we give this to someone, or even for ourselves, if you want to make it for your own self, that's fine, is you don't want it falling apart, right? So, you got to be patient and let the glue dry. Okay, so you end up with a just like this down at the bottom, alright? Okay, so I'm just set that aside for a moment. I might have squared that one little corner up okay, but I got it. Alright, so here comes the roof. And you can see I've already punched the hole, like I said. So the roof, I'm just going to sit there and line it up right here at the top of this, just like this, and to get our pitch and all, okay? So, what I would tell you is you've got it notched here. So if you're going to put it on the inside, put it on the inside both sides like that. Alright, you don't want one here and one like that. It works better if you do one on the inside just like that. See what I'm talking about? How I fold it and make sure it's the same on both sides. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and get this one done first. Let's see. Actually, I need to do this one first because it's going to be on the outside. I had to look at that a second. So yeah, look at your stuff second, right? Don't make this mistake I was fixing to do. And then I can get ready to do this one too. But I'm just going to get one side on at a time. And I'll get the other, right? Because the main thing I want to do is to line it up right here. Right there with the pitch. And it's going to go straight to the edge. And you're going to do the same thing here. Let me get this back over here a second. And this. It sort of moved on me. Okay. Alright, so you can see, in fact, I was just trying to do it a little bit quicker, but I would just go ahead and get your one side glued down first. And make sure it's right, okay? Let me get that edge so you can see it from this edge. Alright, you just want to make sure the edges are up there together, alright? Now, for some reason, you didn't do it quite right. Let's see if we can get my edge right there. That's the one thing about glue. So Sue and I talked about using glue. Well, you know what? That's one of the reasons I can still move it a little, right? Okay, so you just want the edges to be perfect, right? Because this is basically setting you up for everything else you do. So it's always important, just as Gabe demonstrated on Friday or Sunday when we did Zoe and Anna live doing origami. Everything's all about making sure you get all the edges up as you can. Now see how that's going to look? So that's one side right there. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing with the box. So the box is actually almost perfectly with the bottom here, if you can see that. See how this is like perfect? Just if I plate it down like that for you, see how it's like perfectly at the bottom? So that's how you're going to line that up. Oh, wow. That's what Pat Hoover was telling me. Was that they had flooding in Minnesota. Hate to hear that. We experienced that when we lived in Sioux Falls. Some flooding because we had a bunch of rain. Actually, it was the year we had all the flooding and the rain. We actually got to see the Sioux Falls really be a waterfall, right? But it was a raging waterfall from all the rain. So we're just going to hold this here a second, and it's going to go from corner to corner. And I'm just going to put it like that there. So what we'll do is once this all dries really good, we're going to turn around and put this, the front face of it, right up here, okay? Now, I've already glued this down, which that's good. Now what we're going to do, set that aside as that's glued setting too. And now I'm just going to take this other side here, and I'm just going to position it where I want it, okay? Same as I did over here. So you can see how it wants to do, but it's okay. In the end, we're going to push it all together. We're going to squish it together, and it's going to do what we want. All right, it doesn't look at the moment. It looks like it's in control, but you can see what it does. So we're just going to put some glue on here. All right, and I'm just going to come over here, and I'm just going to position it the way I want. So basically, you can see it's going to go from, see how it's going to go from the where we did the hole to the edge of the birdhouse right here. And as this dries, then we just scoot it all together, and we'll glue it, and we'll have to hold it, and it'll do what it's supposed to do. So I'm going to leave it there just a moment. So this is pretty interesting to make, because as you see, this is just one. To make this, it requires two of these. So literally, you can see where I did the seam here coming together. Originally, I thought I would just cut it in half right there, because I really wanted this piece right there. And it just, I didn't realize it until it got finished. It was so giant, and I was supposed to size down. That's okay. We'll deal with it. But yeah, you could easily cut these in half, and I envision cutting this straight across in half and actually doing a card or something with it. Having the same thing like this here, except I'm going to have a nice finish with this, like this circle right here, and I can make something there. Okay, I think that's about dry. So let's see how this is going to look so you can see what you're going to have to do. All right, so you're going to have to literally push and squish this all down. It's already folded, so you're not going to hurt anything, okay? So you're just going to fold it. Yeah, it's already creased. We're just making it fold on its creases is all we're doing, so we can squish it down in here. All right, so that's basically what we're going to do. So we're going to put some glue in here, and then we're just going to squish this in here to fit, okay? Now, the reason why you want to do it now, because it's easier to put the glue on here and hold it and squish it now than it is once you get it right here on the birdhouse, okay? Because here it's going to look like when we get through the birdhouse. And we'll line that up right there and this down here, and it'll shape up, right? So it's easier to do this now. And we may or may not time. Let's look and see how we're doing on time. We're doing good on time. So I just came through and I just put some glue like right down here. Because the main thing is I want it to sit there and stay, right? Okay, I think I got enough glue. Let me see. Yeah, I would make sure you have plenty of glue. Don't do like be real skimpy here because this is spring loaded, right? So it's gonna want to, if you don't let it dry good enough, it's gonna want to pop up, and you get to do it again. All right, so don't worry about the glue. Just get it because it's not dried yet, right? As we're putting this down, don't even worry about the fact that the glue's still wet and all that kind of stuff. It's okay. So just line it up the way you want to line it, just like this. And here you're going to have to hold it a little bit until it dries. And the reason why you will, because I can put weight on here, and I have done this. I've put weight on here, and it's fine. It'll hold it here, but what happens, it wants to spring down, like come down this way. So you're just going to have to be patient and hold it just for a little bit, because I was trying to even do a clamp the other day, to put a clamp here so it can spring out. It's amazing when you do stuff like this, how it wants to spring out anyway. But as the glue's drying, you can sit there and form it just a little bit any way you want, if you feel like you need to move it one way or the other. But the main thing is you just want to get the center part dry, okay? And that's when you know that it's ready and done and so forth and all. So then when it's dry, like I said, all we're going to do is put glue here and here, and we're done, other than the ribbon here. Now the ribbon is this new ribbon. It comes with another color. I can't think of it right now. But I literally just cut it in half right down the length of it, okay? So you can see how it's fraying there. It's the thinnest thing I had at the moment to use to go with the colors I have, right? I wanted white. So that's the thinnest I had right now that I could do this with. So just like I did with the airplane here, I'll go ahead and make my loop and all, and I can trim off. If you have fray check with any of your sewing items, it's a liquid. You can actually put some fray check on there if the fraying bothers you. I'm not really worried about that personally. But if you are, that's the way to do it. My granddaughter was here the other day, and we were doing something, and she didn't like the fact that it was fraying the ribbon the way she did. I said, just use fray check then, and it worked just fine to stop it from fraying wherever she wanted it, what she's doing, so right? So don't know that this is still dry. You'll know, because if you move your finger, see how that popped up? So it's going to have to dry a little bit more. Now, it's not springing out, so let me see if this will work or not. I'd have to get something heavy enough, so that's not really heavy enough. Let's see what I have. I mean, somebody suggested this morning that I put, what did they put? They handed me something. I forget what it was, but it was like, oh my word, no, that's too heavy now. So, right, you want it heavy, but not too heavy. All right, so that's not quite heavy enough, because I can see it wanting to come back up. So you can see it just takes, I'll just put it there to dry. All right, so you'll have to let me know as we're waiting for that, see if we can wait for this to dry. Oh, you like the airplane ornament? Okay, so here's the question, Pat. So do you think you like it better like this, or do you think you would like it as an ornament with the clouds underneath it? I could just as easily put the clouds underneath it. I had the other clouds too. I actually put a mechanism in here, a little mechanism right here, so it'll keep it open. And I'm going to add most probably another one right back here, I think. Yeah, it's not very hard to do, but it just helps keep it open, right? So if you actually ship this in a card and you closed it, that's fine. Because of this little mechanism I put in here, it'll sit there and still come open. It'll pop open when people get it out. So without the clouds. Okay, without the clouds it is. Makes life easier for me. All right. And plus you can stand it up too. So, if you wanted to stand it up and let it stand up on its own, you can. Because, again, we've got it popped open and it's got that whole 3D effect that we've made it so you can easily do that too. Let's see if this is dry yet or not. It is not. So I'm going to have to let that dry. I'm going to put pressure on it because it's still not dry. But see, you can see how it wants to pull away. So that's why when you do this, you're just going to have to, and I might have to put more glue. But that's okay. I might have to let it get tacky first and redo it. And that's okay. Let me go ahead and get it on the house and I can come back and finish that here. But if you have to put a little bit more glue, put a little bit more glue. And I might not put enough glue. And that was sort of the reason why I wanted to do the little half circle here, because I thought that would help it. And I might go back and do that after the live here. I'll have to go cut another circle and all that kind of stuff. But it's okay. I'd rather do it for you and show you how you can do it. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on right here. But again, the key thing is to, whenever you set this up, put it where you want it. Now, see, I could have actually maybe put this up a little bit higher to the right, and I didn't. But it's okay. The world didn't end. The sun is still outside. Yeah, I'm going to have to come back with that. That's okay. Then you just come back with it, okay? Don't sweat the small stuff. It's small stuff. Just need to put enough glue down there. I'm going to put one of those half moon things and see what the difference with that would be. So I'm going to at least get this on here for you so you can see. So you're just starting to glue and finish it up over here, right? So you can see how that, see how that came out. So you really have to hold that until it dries. I haven't found anything other than me holding it until it dried to get it to do. All right, let's go ahead and get this on here, and you don't have to worry about watching me go back and re-glue and hold it down, because that's what I'm going to do. Because I want my birdhouse that's going to be an ornament. Because I got enough patriotic family people just in my family, right, that I can make these for. And I'm thinking too, if you're at a craft fair during the holidays, same thing here. You're just going to want to hold it just a moment to get the glue to dry. Okay. Just again, because the glue is still wet, you can still maneuver it, right? And you're just going to let that dry. If I had my paper clips with me, my small ones, I have some small paper clips, I would sit there and just paper clip it. Okay? So I'm going to let that dry, and I'll finish this, and I'll come back and do that there. So I hope you enjoyed that, right? It's just, let me do that, Debbie. So, yes, you could. That would be a great idea, is to use your glue dots to hold it first. Let's see if that'll work for me. And then, but you still want to do the glue, right? So, let's see. Debbie might be right. Where were you when I did the first birdhouse? Let me see if I can do our tool here. I didn't think of that, but you're right. As I told everybody yesterday when we were doing the club, I told them to use a glue dot to hold things down. And I didn't do it myself for this, so I didn't even practice what I preached. All right, I'm going to do what she said. And you know what? Because the nice thing is, it's like I was telling folks yesterday, was that when we were making wasn't the ornament, but it was similar to the ornaments. If you put a glue dot in there, right, at least hold it down for you. And then you put glue there too, so it'll at least help you out until the glue dries. So I'm going to do it like Debbie said. I'm going to do these glue dots, but I'm going to go ahead and put some more glue. Because that's what my thing is. I always want to make sure I put enough glue. I'm never sure. But the key to this is, too, when you do the glue dot and you mash this in, you want to make sure you get it the way you want it. Because it's going to be there. Thank you, Bertner. Whoop, whoop. So, yeah, there we go. I'm going to add some more glue. See if I can see it better this way for you. So I'm just going to add some more glue. I put 4 glue dots in here, so I'm believing that's just plenty. Okay, now let's see what we can do. Worst case scenario, I can mess it up and get to do it all over again. Nah, I'm never worried. You don't usually worry about that too much, right? They just become opportunities for creativity. Just demands how much creativity you want. Okay, let's see if I can get it mashed into those glue dots. Yeah, I'm not sure it's holding with the glue dots. Yeah, it's not on this side. I think it's just, it's really, it's so tight. It reminds me of just a spring. I think I can, yeah, it's glue dots aren't holding it. You know what I could do too, I think, as I'm thinking, Debbie, as you're telling me about that, I'm just wondering if I could put the glue dots in between. Well, it doesn't matter. The bottom, my biggest problem is getting it to just, I gotta hold it, right? And I just don't always have the patience to hold. Yeah, I think it's a good suggestion too. It's just not holding it, and I'm not sure why, because you would think the glue dots would hold it, right? I think it's just got so much pushed together here that it just wants to, it's just by the sheer volume of it, I think it's just wanting to push back is all. But like I said, if you'll just hold on to it, I'll have to hold on to it more than what I've got on live here. And then I'll just have to come back. I'll have to think about what I held this down with originally, because I don't remember, but I got it to hold it down for me until it was ready. Once I got it set, right? Sort of like anything else. hate to say it, I might would even use super glue. I'm not sure if I have any super glue, only because it would dry quicker, right? So, yeah, there you go. All right, well, I'm just going to hold this. You don't have to watch me holding this. I'll show it to you afterwards. Let me see if we can get back to my face here. There we are. So, yeah, I'm just going to be patient and hold this. The glue dots are an excellent idea. It just didn't hold for me. I'll try to think of something else I can do besides holding it right, because I don't know about you, I'm not a person really normally to sit still to let glue dry, except if it's something I really, really want. And this is something I really, really want, so I'm going to make sure to hold on to it and it dries. All right, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, be sure to follow us here on Facebook. We'll also post the video on YouTube, and we're also out there on Instagram. So if you're interested in the kit, we'll get that to you. You just need to use the host code and do a $35 minimum order, right? If you do $50, you're going to get a bonus day $5 coupon. So there you go. And you can also sign up for a retreat and you'll get this as well too. With that, be blessed. Have a very happy 4th of July. And I look forward to seeing you next week on Keep It Simple or Step It Up. Bye.